Hey guys, welcome back to another video in this channel. Today, it's still very cold and we're gonna have a different topic. So you probably saw the title already in the video and wondering, where's the lighthouse? Don't worry, we'll continue the lighthouse very soon, probably tomorrow. I know I promised that we would be doing the wooden beams, which is a super important part of the whole thing, and I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what the best approach for those ones are. But I had a conversation with a student yesterday and it was really interesting. So this student came to me. He had a homework that he had to deliver, and unfortunately, he was not able to do it. Like he needed more time, and he was asking for extra time. And then he spilled out. He was very devastated because he felt like he didn't have enough energy to keep going. He's I would say like a second semester, third semester student, so he's still in the early stages of the 3D process over here in the universities where I teach. But he was very disheartened. He was really like demotivated, or he had no motivation. So then the topic came up like, how do you keep yourself motivated? Well, what's the best way to keep yourself motivated? And I'm gonna be super honest with you here, guys, because I think this is one of those things that people don't see. Even you guys that see me every day, and when I'm sharing like tricks and stuff. You don't see the struggles that we all face. Like, we're all humans, right? And we have our normal, like, sad days, very busy days, very tiring days. Like, there's always things going on around in our lives, not only in our professional lives, in our personal lives, in our family, in our feelings. Like, there's a lot of things going on, right? So what's the best way to keep yourself motivated? Well, I'm not the best guru or guide to give you the best advices, because I myself feel demotivated or unmotivated a lot of the times. However, I do have a couple of things that I think are gonna help you. The first of those is goals. You need to have a goal. So we all know that the goal is something that you just strive for, right? Like that's your main drive, your powerhouse, what's gonna give you energy to keep going. And it is very important to have a goal. Now, you can have a goal financially, you can have a goal with your family, you can have a personal goal, like a physical goal. Maybe you want to be like super fit or something. Like, there's a lot of goals. Talking about 3D, I think the best thing I can tell you is try to look up at artists that are really good or that you admire, and try to find out what the best strategy would be to get there. I'm gonna give you one of my examples. This guy, he's not super well known, but he's I think he's kind of famous. He doesn't have a lot of like tutorials and stuff. That's why I think people don't know him as much. But his name is Alessandro Baldassaroni. He's already a senior character artist. He worked at one of the most amazing companies that I know of, which is Blur Studios. They do a lot of cinematics for games and stuff, and he's great. I'm like, I see his work. Like, this was done like several years ago, and I'm still impressed by the amount of detail and stuff that he has. And I always look at his work and I'm like, damn, I want to get there. I wanna keep on building my skills so that I can eventually get to that level. Now, here's one thing, and this again, it has to do with the 3D art. I know I'm never gonna catch up to this guy because he has way more years of experience, and the more I approach him, the more he gets away, right? He becomes better and better and better. But that's fine, that's life. Eventually, and I'm not hoping that this happens soon, of course, but eventually he won't be able to continue making art because we all get old and then we just retire or something. And at that point, my goal is to, at the moment where I'm retiring, I should be at his level, or if I can be better, well, that would be great, right? Like that's the goal. So you need to put yourself as your own like competition. We've talked about this before. Like, you are your own competition in the art world. Of course, in regards to jobs and stuff, you need to have a better skill than a lot of other people so that you can get the jobs. But at the end of the day, everyone's running their own race and everyone's working towards their own goal, and you need to have that goal defined. So when I take a look at his stuff, for instance, I say, okay, what do I need to work on? Like, what would be, like, if I had to pick something from this Udyr piece, what would be the thing that I would like to learn from this? And I would say probably cloth. I would love to be able to do cloth in this very nice way. And I know how to do cloth. I've done cloth before. But I feel like I still have things to learn. So that's where the goal becomes not only a goal, but the strategy. That's where the motivation comes in, because I'm going to see this piece, and instead of feeling overwhelmed or feeling intimidating by the level, I'm gonna extract information from this piece. I'm gonna try to learn from this piece. Even though Alessandro can't teach me anything, I'm gonna try to extract as much information and learn from this piece so that I can improve my own art. You can improve just by analyzing and studying, even just a still image like this one. Like how did he approach the anatomy? What kind of lighting situation he used here? How did he do like the bandages here on the arms? Like there's a lot of things that you can learn from just like really analyzing and studying. Now, if the artists are kind enough to show you like clay renders and turntables and stuff, then props to them. Thank you, because that's gonna make it even easier for me to understand how he approached this sort of thing, and that's gonna make it easier for me to learn those kind of tricks and tips. And of course, I need to put them into practice. So here's one that's like my first advice. Whenever you feel unmotivated, go look for inspiration. I have three pieces of information, inspiration that I will always go through. I'm just getting excited because I'm gonna talk about my favorite things. So, some of you guys might remember the Wrath of the Lich King cinematic that Blizzard did like several years ago. I think this was the cinematic that changed my life, because when I saw this, not only was the game like the Lich King expansion so good, when I saw this, I knew I wanted to do this thing. Like, I didn't know how to do any of this. Like, I didn't know how you would start doing any of this kind of stuff. But when I saw this cinematic, I was like, I have to. That's what I want to do. That's my like dream job. I want to know how they do this kind of stuff. Now I know that, of course, a single person cannot do this, or at least not at this level of quality, right? Because it's gonna take forever. You either become a character artist, or animator, or an environment post-production. Like, you pick one of the jobs that make this possible. But yeah, I remember when I saw this thing, the inspiration that this thing brings to me is just great. So whenever I'm in a bad day, or I'm like feeling under the weather creatively, where I feel like I'm not good enough or whatever, I look up to this video, I just watch it, and I remember why I chose this career. And then I watch my old like works, like the things that I've done throughout the years, and I realize, hey, you've actually improved. Like there's been some improvement in the last couple of years. So as long as you keep improving, keep learning, keep improving, that's our motto over here: always learning, always improving. Then you're gonna be fine. It's just a matter of not letting go of that dream, right? Now, another like excellent thing that I love to use as inspiration is the Lord of the Rings. You guys know I'm a huge fan of fantasy. It's probably my like favorite genre. And Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, Dungeons and Dragons, like all of those guys are great sources of inspiration for myself. So I have over here, for instance, I think I've showed you before. Give me just 1 second. So I have my whole library over here of Dungeons and Dragons. I'll show you real quick. So that's my like Dungeons and Dragons shelf. I have a lot of books, and all of those books are inspiration for me. So every now and then, again, when I feel under the weather, I don't feel like super creative or anything. Oh, let's fix this real quick. That's why I don't move it as frequently, because then we have to fix it. So every time I feel like that, I'll just like go in here, and there's like creatures and monsters and stuff. And sometimes just by reading the stories and imagining new worlds, that kind of like kickstarts my creative mind, and that keeps me motivated again. But again, it is difficult. It's not super easy to do. But one of the best advice that I can give you after having a goal is make sure you break the cycle, because we as artists tend to be very self-destructive, and we tend to kind of like sabotage ourselves, and we start with a negative thought, and then that negative thought evolves into something worse and worse and worse, and at the end of the day we're feeling like crap, like total crap, and it just doesn't help. So breaking that like toxic cycle inside of our minds is really important, and that's why I use like this sort of like inspiration, like pieces of inspiration, to break that cycle, to remember that there are things that I can create and stories that I can tell that are gonna be inspiring for other people, right? And then finally, I think this is the last piece of advice that I would like to give you guys in regards to motivation, is that motivation is sometimes not the only answer. You probably heard about this. They use this phrase a lot in like the physical world. My brother, he's very fit. He's been going to the gym for several years now. And they see that discipline. Discipline is what you need to do to get better at something, because motivation is only gonna get you that far, right? Like, motivation is always important, but sometimes there's gonna be some days where there's no energy, there's no motivation. But if you have discipline and you just do it because you know you have to do it, even though you don't feel like it, you're gonna keep on moving, you're gonna keep on improving, and you're gonna improve, of course, as an artist in this case. So I have one rule for myself, and this is the rule that I have been using I've at least like 7 years or 8 years now, and that is I don't let any single day pass without me learning something new. That's it about 3D. And it doesn't need to be a tool. It doesn't need to be like a specific workflow or technique. It could be as simple as going, I don't know, to like CG Channel, right? For those of you that don't know, this is a great site, CG Channel. And then just learning about something like, hey, there's a new B-ray. Okay, what do they have? Oh, look at this image. I want to learn how to do that. Like, what are they using? And then you just check the documentation. You just skim through it. That doesn't mean I'm gonna download V-ray and start using it, but just learning about what's happening in the industry keeps me updated and keeps me well motivated to keep doing this, right? So getting those little snippets of information. There's also like here in CG Channel, there's free resources, there's training, like more free tutorials and stuff. So this is a great channel, by the way. And yeah, so I always try to find something that keeps me motivated. That's why the logo that we have here in my academy, it's always learning, always improving, right? Like you always want to be learning something new, because otherwise you're gonna lose that motivation. You're gonna lose that spark that keeps us artists looking for more things. And always try to look at what's going on in the world. Like for instance, I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but the new League of Legends thing, the Arcane series, it's out on Netflix. So if you guys have Netflix, definitely check this out. Like I've been just like enjoying this show so much. I'm not even analyzing the 3D. I'm just enjoying the story because it's visually like super impressive, and it's a very nice character development. But I know later on I'm just gonna watch it to analyze how they did certain things, how they're animating, how they're shading, how they're lighting. Like all of those things are gonna be helpful for you. Play games or read books. Go get a comic book. Like there's so much inspiration for us artists, and the best advice that's I think one of the other best advice that I can give is don't get intimidated. You're gonna see great art out there. Don't get intimidated by it. Don't think that you can't do it, because you can do it. It's gonna take you a while, of course, but you can do it. It's just a matter of not losing your focus and using those great works of art as inspiration to get where you want to be. So that's it for today, guys. Just quick little inspirational video. Hope you guys liked it. Let us know in the comments if this is the kind of thing. There's another topic I want to talk about, but let me know if you guys want to hear about that. It's called imposter syndrome. It's a psychological thing, and it's very harmful as well for us artists. So if you've heard that, if you felt like that, like an imposter in this 3D world, let me know in the comments, and we'll touch on that in the next couple of days. Tomorrow, I promise, we'll go back to the lighthouse. We'll go back to some 3D tips. So yeah, for now, this is it. I'll see you back tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys. Oh, wait, don't leave. Before we leave, remember, right now, the submissions are open for the portfolio reviews. We're going to have portfolio reviews this weekend. So make sure to check the link down below here in the description so that you can submit your works. That's it. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.